Hey there, hey there. Oh, gotta fix my shirt. And then we can get started. Okay, I'm going to be reading a couple of excerpts from Beauty in the Empty Bowl, which is a cooking and crafting book for this purpose of introducing presence. So it's not just about the craft, or it's not just about the activities, but it's about the why, and the how, and the whom. So here we go. I'm just gonna read a few pieces. So, dedication, memories, nourishment, artistry, and resilience. I place mine as offerings at the table of those who eat alone, create alone, and live between moments of beauty and hardship. Okay. I was crafty, lonely, and hungry. What a combination, huh? Let's go a little further, so I'm blocking that light bulb. Okay. I'll do it this way. That way you can get a little bit of. Okay, I think that's better. All right. I was crafty, lonely, and hungry. Okay. And Kanji, hello. I'm reading an excerpt from my book that's coming out, Beauty in the Empty Bowl. Let me try again. I'm trying to hold this phone so that you don't get the glaring from the light, but we'll see. As the latter two became more frequent and more prominent in my life, it became increasingly difficult to discern where one began and the other ended. I just felt hollow. It showed in my artwork. It shook my confidence. Real talk. I am supposed to be working on my fashion design textbook and my beloved ballet, Softly Softly, but imposter syndrome has made me her bitch. So I'm writing this for now. Oh, thank you. Two forms of depravity were starting to merge and gain power. I only had strength to do something about one, lonely or hungry. So I cooked. No matter who's victorious, women rarely fare well in wars. Ask my sisters in Rwanda, in Gaza, the sisters in Ukraine, or my Haitian sister caught up in refugee hell somewhere between Central America, Ohio, or Alligator Alcatraz. Beauty in an Empty Bowl was my intervention to stave off a war within that I couldn't afford to wage or lose. Within many religious and spiritual walks, there are variations of a common practice that requires consistency and ethics-referenced parameters. From early childhood, my mother introduced me to this exercise through Catholicism. No fish on Fridays, no meals before Mass, making vows, and abstaining from a vice during Lent. Most of my years, my vice had been sweets. Being the spiritual traveler that I am, the path has steered me to visit Islam, non-denominational Christianity, African indigenous religions, and even Buddhism. In every faith, one is called to make some sort of sacrifice. There are guiding principles. There are also teachings through liturgical books, song, art, counsel, movement, and archetypal symbolism through costume. Costume, you ask? Yeah. Consider it a fashioning of inner practice of sorts, a robe, a crucifix, a red hat, a hijab, a wig, a bandana. Those who bear witness to life through Buddhism have sadhana. Like most people living in Western-centered societies, I got hooked onto yoga through a gentrified means. It started as an excuse to feel myself again by wearing sexy workout clothes, read, dampen my insecurities, while getting in shape, again, dampen my insecurities. That is not a condemnation, simply a point of context. In fact, I loved it. I performed feeling good on a mat until I actually stumbled onto feeling present and grounded in my body. Yoga held space for a lot of what resonated with different faiths along my jumbled journey. To this day, sun salutations are part of my routine when I'm loving myself deepest and best. Having a good wake up, I'm there right now. Like most, whether donned in Lululemon or raggedy old thrift store t-shirts, your son's old basketball shorts, yoga moves like sun salutations are a means of de-stressing and exercising. The practice is far more than that, though. It has been a portal. I'm going to adjust a bit. It has been a portal. I'm sorry. It has been a portal into my spiritual self and ultimately beyond the realm of my physicality into that which connects us all. If I scoot forward a little bit. Oh, I just want to block that light. Okay, I think that's better. I had returned to the abandoned practice of working on my life from the inside out as my mom had originally taught me and my brother and 3 little sisters, as we gathered cushions around her bed and nailed on the wooden floorboards in our subsidized housing apartment on Cheney Street in Roxbury. The room would fill with the evening smell of a warm, honey-toned cotton waft from the white candle on Mummy's dressing table, with lingering notes of our bath time cocktail, an olfactory recall of pear soap, toothpaste, baby powder, cocoa butter, Dax, and Limecoal. And I'm transported back again, piled in around Mummy with my hands pressed together, centered on my chest. Make the sign of the cross. We'd respond in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as we lifted our hands and with our middle and index fingers touched our foreheads, center of our chests, and then left and right shoulders. Mommy's time working in a convent in Barbados was not for naught. I wonder if it makes sense to pay attention to the number of people that are in your life. I think that that's really futile. It can throw you off so much. This is my 3rd time reading just this evening. I decided I was going to do all of the, not all, but I was going to do 3 platforms. I did TikTok, Instagram, and now YouTube. TikTok had the most. I started, anyway. It's distracting, but I made a promise to myself that I would read this work because I've been sitting on it. And I wanted to go out into the world before I leave this world. So, my interpretation of my value and the value of my life had me squarely in the camp of those who did not want to, you name it, be observed, get dressed, bathe, continue building my brand. And in moments of acute presence, when I felt fully immersed in the now, I was arranging a place setting for my dinner. Black lentil soup with spinach, caramelized onions, and Scotch bonnet peppers, and a coconut milk biscuit that I dipped in banana pepper sauce, and a comforting cuppa with unsweetened, extra creamy oat milk, raw sugar garnished with a few slices of ginger root. Growing up in Boston in a large Caribbean family with 4 siblings, a constant stream of cousins from New York, London, or back home, spending the night or the weekend or in the summer, and then blinking and finding myself a divorced mother of 3. Meals were often raucous, hearty, with a nod of to the queen with our cutlery etiquette and fussy fanfare. My mother was nobody's shortcut. We lived in the Bronx, New York, then in Boston. I don't know why I skipped around to that. My charismatic father and beautiful poised mom were a force when together. They dressed well. The results of my father's family being filled with generations of tailors and seamstresses, and both of my parents having fully indulged in the swagalliciousness of living and thriving in London for over a decade. The quite West Indian couple cooked and danced even better, evidenced by my father's propensity to turn one of our simple birthdays into a raucous cultural event, where so much mannish water and rum was poured that the spin from dancers and adulterers kept the rooms on rotation until dawn. My mother loved him so much, she'd indulge him. And if we're honest, despite being a devout Catholic, she'd indulge her desire to entertain and be the chosen one of the most handsome man she'd ever known. Our first experience of public housing was in Roxbury and the South End, but at all times, my brother and sisters were under British social rule. We ate what was put in front of us. I wish I had done so with more pride or appreciation. My mother was equal parts Julia Child, West Indian cultural attaché, Marine Corps sergeant, and magician. Lamb soup, curried chicken with peas and rice, vanilla, fudge, pone, rice porridge, roasted chicken, sauce. Clarine Hyacinth Fenton gave her 5 children a healthy array of foods prepared in a clean and modest subsidized housing apartment in which many a rosary was said. I can smell the finely diced onions. She couldn't stand them when cut too thick, a worm reference to her tortured childhood in Bathsheba. Barbados was as colorful as it was unkind to her. I can see her now, her arm bandaged from dialysis run. She'd lean slightly against the counter because her blood pressure was often low when she got back. She'd call me into the kitchen. I would begrudgingly leave my book or the game I was playing and pick up the other knife she had on the counter for me. After a box or a stern word, I'd remember the rules of engagement. I wasn't those rich white kids in Concord with their rights, opinions, and tantrums. Neither was I the Black American kid who got to eat cool stuff like McDonald's, KFC, and pizza and subs. We didn't know about soul food. I wouldn't be blessed with a proper introduction until young adulthood. I was the eldest of 5 children, a green card possessing, reading above grade level, confirmed Black Catholic girl who never had more than 3 dresses, 1 for church and 2 for school. My hair stayed in 6 plaits, barring Easter, until I took on responsibility for caring for my hair on my own around 9. As the lashes, whether verbal or epidermal, cooled, so did my inner protest, and I cut tomatoes and other veggies. I'd add the seasoning she pulled out. Sometimes, if her head was spinning too much, she would lead me to it. I would brown the chicken, remove it from the oil, and then add the cut up vegetables. And when it caramelized, I would add the chicken back and add some water. Mommy would come back in and course correct my seasoning work, despite having done this since I was 6. She knew better than to leave my siblings' palates in my young, distracted, revolutionary hands. My mother intuitively imprinted culture on my tongue. I think she knew that while America was wonderful for all the diverse opportunities to success, it was also rife with too many opportunities to distract and trick the West Indian right out of me. She taught me about connection, relationships, and science. She introduced me to politics and ritual and sacrifice, how to save lives, and how to mend a heart. She saved me in ways that I'm still discovering. She showed me the cruelty and the beauty of an empty bowl. I'm going to stop there. Beauty in an Empty Bowl is going to be out soon. And I hope that it serves as a meaningful reference material, not just for how to make certain dishes or how to do certain crafts, how to make a napkin, how to crochet a coaster, but also how to be with self, how to make a meal of just you, of a singular life. That's what I'm working on. And I'm hoping that I can find some friends along the way. So I wrote a book about it. All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. And peace.